Hi everyone, this is Father Nick again. I hope this is working this time. I guess the first one didn't work, so I apologize. I just wanted to at least redo the message, and if this doesn't work, then I'll let it go. But I wanted to start tonight's message with the hymn from when we process around the church, Simeron Kodamaton. So I'll sing that, and then I will just say a few words. Today, he who suspended the earth in the waters is suspended on a cross. Simeron cremate pixilo, oanidas itinien cremasas. Today he who suspended the earth is suspended on a cross. So that's the famous hymn that we sing as we go around the church. And as I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about tonight, as you all know, Holy Thursday is the time. Holy Thursday evening is the matins for tomorrow, where we experience Christ's passion. So we go through the 12 Gospels, we go through the beating and the scourging and the whipping, and ultimately the crucifixion of Christ. And as I was thinking about what we should talk about and what I should bring up, one message that kept ringing within my ears was, what does it mean to be crucified with Christ? What does it mean to, in this day and age, right now, during this pandemic, what does it mean to be crucified with Christ? How can we experience this really beautiful and powerful service when we can't attend? And so I'd like to just reflect on that, if you'll allow me. And when we think about it, a lot of Orthodox Christians, we always talk about the joy of the resurrection. We always emphasize that joy of the resurrection. But we don't really talk about the crucifixion a lot. And so, when we think about the crucifixion of Christ, we think about how do we participate. It's a very painful thing to think about for us to be crucified with Christ. What does that mean? And I would posit and say that now, while we are quarantined and we're self-isolated, and we are away from our community, and we are not receiving communion, and we are missing one another. These are all forms of a crucifixion. These are all forms of us experiencing a crucifixion unlike any other year, unlike any other Holy Week, unlike any other time. And, that's a really beautiful thing. For me personally, I know it's been a very painful and hard Lent and Holy Week. Today's service is one of my favorites. And to not be able to serve it is really hard, really painful. But it gives me great hope, and it's very redeeming when I think about it. When I think about what message do I want to send. If you think about that pain and that yearning and that longing that we are all feeling right now, that mourn that we're all experiencing, that is a connection, not only to the crucifixion, but to the resurrection. In the sense of when we're longing to be with one another, when we are yearning to receive the body and blood of Christ, when we're yearning to just co-celebrate and be communal with one another, and we can't, that's showing that we have a fire for the Holy Spirit, that we have a fire for the love of God. That's showing that we are looking forward to the resurrection. That means we are experiencing the resurrection right now. So although it may be hard and tough and painful, and it might feel very painful, unlike any other Holy Week that we're experiencing, to feel this type of crucifixion of self-isolation, or again, longing and yearning and mourning and missing one another, that in turn, if you look at it, is also very resurrectional. It means that we are at some point going to come back together and be very grateful and be on fire. And we'll experience the resurrection in a way that we've never experienced before. So yes, we are experiencing a crucifixion with Christ unlike any other right now. But we're also going to experience a resurrection. Imagine what it'll be like when we're all together again. Imagine what it'll be like when we are finally able to sing Christ is risen, or to receive communion with one another. All of these things are pointing to the resurrection. So don't be afraid of feeling sad or longing or mourning for one another. But realize that this longing and yearning and mourning is actually a sign that we are expecting the resurrection. And that is a beautiful thing. So don't be afraid of the crucifixion, because the crucifixion brings a resurrection. You can't have a resurrection without crucifixion. You can't have crucifixion without resurrection. So remember this and keep that in your hearts. And don't be afraid of being crucified with Christ. So God be with you. I hope this worked. And if not, then forgive me. I'm trying on my phone. And anyway, God bless you guys. Good strength, Kali Dinami, and God be with you. Okay, bye-bye.